Here's something most leaders didn't expect to hear in 2026. Companies are hiring back the same workers they just laid off for AI. Gartner just projected that half of all AI-related workforce cuts will reverse by 2027. And Forrester's data explains why. 55% of employers who restructured for AI now regret the decision. This isn't a story about AI failing, it's a story about leaders misunderstanding what AI actually is. So what does that mean? Think about what it would mean to hire a surgeon to do surgery on you who had only read surgery textbooks. They have complete information through reading, but they don't have any operations under their belt. You'd never hire that surgeon, but companies across industries made the equivalent decision when they automated roles whose value came from having done the job under real circumstances, real pressure, thousands of times. Klarna ran this experiment at scale. In 2024, the Swedish fintech company announced that their AI chatbot was doing the equivalent work of 700 customer service agents, and they projected tens of millions in savings. By May 2025, they reversed course. They publicly acknowledged that they'd prioritized efficiency over quality and that the result wasn't sustainable. They hired back a number of the more senior customer service representatives, those who had good judgment that they had lost when they replaced it with AI. That's the gap. AI can categorize problems and retrieve policies at speeds no human can match. But sitting with a frustrated customer, rebuilding trust after a systemic failure, deciding in the moment that this person needs an exception, those are calls AI really has never made. And they're the profound difference between reading about surgery 1,000 times and having done surgery 1,000 times. One produces information and knowledge, the other produces judgment. Many organizations are confusing the two, and that confusion is what's driving this great reversal. Here's what I'd encourage you to do. First, audit your AI deployments. For every role you've automated or are considering automating, ask whether it required simple task execution or whether it requires experience under pressure, judgment about trade-offs that really only come from having navigated real situations with real consequences before. Second, treat experience as infrastructure. So what does that mean? That means that the pattern recognition, your institutional memory, the client trust carried by your experienced people, the relationships, those are harder to rebuild than most leaders realize until those assets are gone. By then, it's expensive, disruptive, and visible to your customers. So look at experience as infrastructure. Third, design for human AI teams. The most effective deployments aren't replacing experienced people wholesale. They're using AI to process what's routine and protecting the people who handle what requires depth of experience. That's the model that holds up. Underneath the Gartner number and the Forrester data is a deeper truth that AI is the most powerful information system ever built, but information and judgment are two entirely different things. AI has read everything, knows a lot, but it really hasn't lived experience. The judgment behind a complex customer decision, a high-stakes negotiation, a leadership call in the middle of a crisis, that comes from having navigated those situations before and had to suffer or benefit from the results of those as real consequences. That lives in the kind of intelligence that only experience builds. Your collective experience is really the only competitive advantage your competitors can't download. Your team and organization's collective experience is really the only competitive advantage that your competitors can't download. That's the reframe so you can leapfrog the headlines, your leadership, and your business. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and find me at sorenkaplan.com.